going to talk about this, and we're going to try to get things going in the right direction. You guys know how this goes. My name is Law Nation, L-A-W Nation, as we begin to talk a little bit about Ezekiel Elliott, as well as the Byron Jones and Dak Prescott. These are the orders of the topics today. First and foremost, Byron Jones. I want to be able to talk to you guys on that right quick. We already know that a lot of times, and I'm telling you guys, a lot of times, when we look into this whole entire picture of what a cornerback should do, right? We look into the aspects of a cornerback should be able to set the tone as it relates to being a secure blanket as it relates to as well as the person that stopped the opposition from scoring, right? So we look into that, and a lot of times we fail to realize that when we start to say about this by Byron Jones is that his initial skill set is always underrated, and we know about the fact that when he was first drafted, he was revered as a freakish nature type of corner, and a lot of people were thinking to themselves, how can we actually utilize his skill set in a certain way, because we didn't have that corner that got takeaways and turnovers and things like that, right? So my thing is, when we start to look at it all together, and I have to say this all together, we began to say to ourselves, man, what if, and that's the main thing, what if he played in that position his entire career? Then we say to ourselves, man, we have a gem on our hands. We have somebody that we can look forward to growing with. But the problem is, the reality of it is that we had other issues throughout this team, especially as it relates to safety. And one can argue that we still having the same issues as it relates today. You know, safety issues. A lot of people still don't have their full hopes and love towards, I would say, I want to say the Xavier Woods of the world, right? A lot of people don't have their full trust in Jeff Heath. So it's a growth factor too. So we look into all those things. And then moving a little bit further onto, like, this is Byron Jones, prove it deal, prove it year. A lot of people say, well, hey, he already had that the year before. No. That's not the case nor the scenario. Shout out to Jordan K. Shout out to Savage Time and Kato. Appreciate you. Calvin Williamson, appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Boomer Sooner. Yes, let this room fill up a little bit. And yes, and we're going to continue to grow this thing. I really appreciate you all. Shout out to all of the sponsors, Cowboys Experience, as well as the illustration that you guys see below me. Ivan said he likes Xavier Woods. No cap. Man, I do too. We all love him. You know, we love the fact that now that you will have the ability to see him play the second year with Chris Richard's system. And that's a major thing too. A lot of people fail to realize with this particular defensive back, as it relates to Byron Jones, as it relates to Cheeto Awuzie, Xavier Woods, even Jeff Heath. These guys are going to be in their second year with Chris Richard, meaning that they should know a little bit more about this offense and defense and the way that what teams are going to try to do as it relates to offensive wise. And then on the defensive side of the ball, they're going to see things a whole lot quicker. They're going to be flying out to the ball a whole lot faster. And that's what I like, you know. That's what I like to see, Cowboy Nation. Let me see if I can get my deal together. I want to see. No. You want to be able. I can't see you guys. Give me a few seconds. Let me set this up a little bit better. And that way we can all be on the same page. I don't know why this is there, but Savage Time, he says, what's up? Yeah, appreciate you. Jordan K, I was playing Madden with Jeff Heath, and he only missed 80% of his tackles. Madden's a little different than reality, but it goes with the territory, right? It goes with everything when we start to look at it. Let's see why. All right. Why? Okay. We need more turnovers for sure. There's Ivan. Yes, we do need more turnovers than takeaways. That will be the name of the game. That will be the full identity of this team. If we can get more turnovers and takeaways, that would help this team out tremendously. I really do believe that when you have a half of a field, a smaller field, you'll be able to say to yourself, man, now that we're only playing with a third of the field or half of the field, the offense should score more. I mean, that's just the reality of it. And I'm thinking that once we have those things, then we'll see a little bit more out of this team as it relates to turnovers, takeaways, and as well as just pure confidence on the road and those things. All right, so moving a little bit further on down, I promise you guys this. Roger Goodell, and this is not me trying to rant and go off and be crazy about what Ezekiel Elliott did this offseason. I mean, it's a thing where we can say to ourselves, man, Ezekiel, the light should have been came on. The whole entire situation with domestic violence, understand that there's not a bright light to shine on anything. That's something that we have to really look at it. But we have to say to ourselves, Cowboy Nation, are the Dallas Cowboys being picked at? Are the Dallas Cowboys being unjustifications of turning over every stone just because you are in the spotlight? Remember, there's 31 other teams out there. And on my Instagram, I pulled up, there are other players that actually been arrested. I'm going to say this again, arrested. And they haven't got the longitude or latitude to go see Commissioner Roger Goodell. So I'm in the land of being fair. I'm in the land of everybody supposedly being in those type of graces. But when you start to say to yourself, man, they need to figure out a way to stop probing and picking at one particular player. Because I just don't see, to me personally, how, regardless of whether or not this is the Dallas Cowboys or regardless of whether or not this is just a team down the street, why on God's green earth is it just only the Dallas Cowboys that the teams like that Roger Goodell's love to pull up? It's crazy to me. It's flat out crazy to me that we see those type of things. It's crazy to me that we look into what Roger Goodell is doing, and as it relates to like the other teams out there. Why is it only Ezekiel, the main man Elliott? why we can't really look at other teams and say to ourselves, hey, come on, man. That guy got arrested. Why are you not pulling up their it's crazy to me. Let me pull that around, and we'll see from here that the NFL Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott will meet with the NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell in New York on Tuesday to discuss the May incident in Las Vegas. Now, this is from Todd Archer. Yes, and of course, when we look at everything, to me personally, when I look at the arrest report, actual people that got arrested, what have you, and we start to talk about, hey, which one is more of a indictment upon the player, and which one is tarnishing the shield a little bit more than what Ezekiel Elliott did with a security guard. I'm looking at this guy that played linebacker, domestic violence, accused of hitting his girlfriend, damaging a whole bunch of stuff. I'm looking at the Ryan Griffins of the world. This guy accused of punching the windows out of cars. I'm looking at this Jalen Mill guy. He got into a fight. Leonard Fournette. Ain't he a prominent running back in the NFL? Don't he brings in some type of level of excitement and talent out there? So I mean, pull over for speeding, accused for I guess suspended license, what have you, and one other guy had the DUI. So my thing is, Cowboy Nation, if the NFL is deciding to picking and choosing who they should punish, then my thing is, what the world is going on with our the NFL quote unquote players union? Because how in the world they allow Ezekiel Elliott to get accused or get pointed out by the commissioner, and these other players get to skate free? It seems like it's not a right thing to do. Now, is Ezekiel Elliott free of everything far as off the field and things like that? No, he's not. He shouldn't get a pass for that. But what I'm saying is when we start to look into this, it just don't seem right, to me. It just don't seem right at all, Cowboy Nation. Let me know how you guys feel. Hill met with the, this is from Films. He said Tyreek Hill met with the NFL, Roger Goodell as well. Robert Kraft, this is from Martin Kraft. My bad. Martin, he says Robert Kraft incident still being downplayed. Yeah. I mean, what tarnished the shield more? Robert Kraft for sex trafficking, or Ezekiel Elliott pushing over or leaning over a security guard? Or if you really look at Tyreek Hill, and I'm not trying to throw salt or shade at Tyreek Hill and throw him under the bus, but if you really look into the deeps of Tyreek Hill, wasn't he arrested for punching his girlfriend in the stomach when she was pregnant? Now, as a man, the NFL should look at that as a man and say, hey, what kind of creature we putting into the NFL with uniforms? Huh? How can you equate what Tyreek Hill did even when he was in college? Because from my understanding, Ezekiel Elliott, the situation that allegedly happened with the lady happened while he was in college. Now, we never got a chance to see Tyreek Hill suspended for that because, of course, that happened a little earlier in college. But still, the notion for a grown man to punch a woman in her stomach while she's pregnant, then for her to ultimately have that child, and for him to allegedly break that child's said arm. Now, I can say this right here. It won't be drawn out long like Ezekiel Elliott, I guess, alleged affairs or what have you with the domestic violence situation. But where's the line? I mean, how can we really look at it and say, okay, everything is on an even keel? Wasn't Tyreek Hill just as valuable for their said team as Ezekiel Elliott was? Or my thing is the NFL to put their toe so much into this thing is that now they don't know how to really combat all of these issues. My thing is, and this is just my thoughts right here, whatever the NFL should look at this, whatever the court systems or whatever the judge systems or whatever the legal system says, then that's the rule that they should apply they should apply by, I guess, or go by. Because now what happened here is that now that you have your own feelings and emotions into this situation, things get left undone. Meaning that when Kia Roberts did her background investigations on Ezekiel Elliott of the quote-unquote alleged lady that said that she had that domestic violence against, or Ezekiel Elliott caused domestic violence on, or what have you, she said, I see no fault in Ezekiel Elliott. It's not enough evidence. It's not enough information to render a suspension. We should throw this thing out. And then what happened? Roger Goodell stood up high and said, we're going to suspend this guy for 6 games. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. All right, we're approaching the 9-minute marker. I really appreciate you guys. Don't forget to put down where you guys are from. I really appreciate that when you guys put down that you guys are from Canada, or you guys are from Hawaii, or you guys are from Carolinas and stuff like that. I really appreciate it because we the only nation that can say this. we the only nation that can say this. On the final few minutes, what I want to bring out would be this right here. Dak Prescott, Rain Dakota Prescott, the final topic of the minutes here. This will be a good test for Dak Prescott. My thing is, if the NFL decide to suspend or get rid of Ezekiel Elliott, now we really know. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys, hey, they're sitting around and they looking at this guy that wears number 4, and they're saying to themselves, okay, no off the field issues. He only had something with some cards or what have you that he's supposed to sign or didn't sign or what have you, whatever it may be. Then they start talking about, okay, the dog situation. Shout out to the dogs. Let me get my wolves on. Here we go. But my thing is with this whole entire deal is that when we start to talk about Dak Prescott, we want to know, can he win without Ezekiel Elliott? Now, I will say this. Ezekiel Elliott is the bell cow for this team. He's the guy that we can look at it from A to Z. Force his team to plan differently. When you start talking about 8 and 9 man fronts, when you start talking about, okay, we're going to look into this thing and say, we're going to stop Ezekiel Elliott at all costs. We can look at Ezekiel Elliott and say that. But now if you remove Ezekiel Elliott out of the equation, will they still load up 8 and 9 man fronts? Will they still look at it and like, okay, we're going to try to stop the run and force Dak Prescott to pass the ball? Because when you look at the tape with Dak Prescott without Ezekiel Elliott, the ball is spread around more. The ball goes down the field a lot longer. Now, one can argue that this right here, that the level of competition may be different. It may be different. It may be something that when we start talking about Dallas Cowboys collectively, that with Ezekiel Elliott off the field, maybe the level of clarity would be better for Dak Prescott. My daughter just came in here. Hey, boo, everything okay? What happened?
You hurt the door.
The door? Yeah. All right, well, Daddy almost finished, okay? What's going on? Where Mommy at? She's speaking baby language to me. What's up, man? Appreciate you guys. Loyal to Houston. Appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in to the nation. Who else we have here? Is it Monkey? Cowboys won't without Ezekiel Elliott. Yes, that's something that I want to know. Cowboy Nation. Can Dallas Cowboys win without Ezekiel, the main man, Elliott? Oh, no. What happened, boo? Yeah. All right. I don't know whether or not Ezekiel Elliott, with the thing is with Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott, are they joined at the hip? I don't know. We just don't know. But, guys, I'm going to have to cut this thing short. I really appreciate each and every last one of you all. I want you guys to let me know whether or not at the end.
The baby shark.
Baby shark? Where's baby shark at? Oh, no, it's not a baby shark. That's something else. That's this right here. Appreciate you, Cowboy Nation. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you all for tuning in to the nation. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let me know before I go. Can Dak Prescott win without Ezekiel Elliott? Will this team be able to win without Ezekiel Elliott? That's been my time. Salute. We out. Peace.